We're here live at the Port Isabel Police Department to talk about registration for COVID-19 testing in our area. And John, could you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's John Sandoval. I'm the Fire Marshal with the City of Port Isabel. And we're here to talk to you a little bit this morning about the COVID testing coming up, being held at the event center tomorrow.
What are the hours tomorrow for that testing?
Tomorrow the testing is going to be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Originally they had been sent a little bit further, but something did come up, so they will be having to cut the testing short. Not to worry, we can't make it out tomorrow. There's also going to be testing out in Combs on Monday, the 25th, and then in Los Fresnos on the 26th and 27th as well. So if you can't get it set up for testing as soon as tomorrow, you can definitely head out to any one of those locations. This is going to be a county-wide thing that they're doing.
Okay. So you've been through this process before, so you can walk us through what the online registration kind of looks like, so people out there unfamiliar with it will feel a little more comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's going to be two ways to go ahead and sign up for this testing, and we ask that you do sign up 24 hours prior to testing. The way it works is once you've signed up and they've gathered your information, they'll set up an actual time for you to come through the drive-thru testing. A very streamlined situation that they have going on out there. You'll go ahead and be in your vehicle. You can sign up as many people of your family as you want. So if you bring out 4 individuals with your family, want your whole family tested, you just have to register each one of those individuals separately. Two ways you can do so. You can either do so by calling the number at 512-883-2400. That's 512-883-2400, or you can go ahead and go through texascovidtest.org. And we're going to go ahead and walk you through the process here of getting signed up.
So if they call that number, they won't have to go through this online form. They will already be signed up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So those of us that aren't completely computer savvy, there's nothing to worry about. You can just pick up the phone and
you do whatever's comfortable.
Yeah, whatever's comfortable to you. Sometimes one's a little more comfortable for others. So if you are going to do it online, again, you'll go to texascovidtest.org.
Okay.
And that's what this is going to look like here. You're going to have this pop up. This is your novel coronavirus COVID-19 test registration. Okay. So it's going to ask you a series of questions. The first one's going to be, do you agree to receive text messages from the COVID-19 test registration system? For these purposes, we're going to go ahead and hit yes. And then we'll go on to next. Very straightforward form that we're going to fill out. It's going to be your first name, so I'll go ahead and use mine for right now.
And you've just recently been through this process yourself, correct?
I have, yes. I got tested 2 days ago, actually. So I know all the horror stories that are out there about this being really horrible testing. It's very comparable to the flu testing. Only difference is it's done in both nostrils. Other than that, it's pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
So nothing major to worry about. I went through it. Wasn't a big deal. In and out within 5 minutes. So nothing to worry about on that end.
Excellent.
So we'll go ahead and fill this out. Of course, your date of birth. And then it's going to ask for your gender down here on the bottom, male, female, intersex. So we'll go ahead and press male. And then your second form here is just going to be your personal information as far as mobile phone number, contact information, obviously your street address, department, city, county, and you'll just go ahead and fill that out. Again, we'll use some of my information here. And some of this stuff will be pre-filled, but county, obviously Cameron County, and the state of Texas. This is the code. And we'll move on to the next form. The next form is going to be your insurance information. It will ask for the COVID-19, and it will tell you here the COVID-19 test is free, and insurance is not required, and there is no deductible. This is just information that they're gathering in order
for their records,
and for them to also know if if for some reason do test positive, whether you have insurance coverage to go ahead and see a primary physician for the care after the fact.
Okay.
So it's going to go ahead and ask you here whether you have private insurance, Medicaid, Medicare, or no insurance at all. Just to show you that it works, I'm going to go ahead and hit no insurance and then go on to next. Again, it tells you COVID test insurance is not required, and we just need to click next to continue. It's going to ask you a series of questions. Do you have a fever higher than 99.6 Fahrenheit or chills? We're going to go ahead and hit no. If for some reason you do, obviously you're going to want to hit yes on that question. The reason that they're asking these questions is just so that they know when to schedule you and how to schedule you. All the individuals that are out there doing this testing are in full PPE, which is personal protective equipment, and they do that for their well-being and the well-being of others to make sure that they're not sick. Of course, if you do have a fever, you are showing signs of coronavirus or COVID, they are going to take special precautions when it comes to you and measures. So again, it's going to ask you that. Do you have a cough? Yes, dry cough. Yes, a productive cough. Produces phlegm, or no cough at all. We're going to hit no on that. Are you experiencing fatigue, muscle or joint pain, or body aches? Of course, you can hit either yes or no depending on how you're feeling. And you're going from there. Are you experiencing shortness of breath? Answer that one. Do you have a sore throat? Yes or no? Are you experiencing headaches? Yes or no? Do you have nausea, vomiting, and or diarrhea? Yes or no? Do you have nasal congestion, head congestion? Yes or no? And the reason behind a lot of these questions is also to differentiate if maybe you might just have a common flu, or it's something that they actually have to be worried about. Sometimes with allergies going around, especially in this area, I know I have a big problem with it. So that's also going to be another factor into these questions and why they want to know. Do you have loss of smell? Yes or no? And that's where we get to this part right here. Once you get to this part right here, and I'm not going to submit it because, like I said, I've already been tested, but this is pretty much going to tell you
how you can expect to receive your communication, correct?
Correct, yes. So obviously if you set up for text messages, it's going to go ahead and give you a text message. If you have any concerns, you can also call the number down at the bottom, which would be the registration number as well. For all the terms and conditions, you can hit terms and conditions, and it'll go ahead and explain to you about the testing site and exactly what they're going to do and how you can expect your results. After that, pretty much just hit acceptance of the terms and conditions and hit submit.
Right.
Again, I'm not going to submit mine because I've already been tested.
Right. So you were notified, and they told you exactly what time your appointment would be, so you can show up and be in that queue 5 minutes ahead of time for when your appointment is scheduled.
Right, absolutely. Now, you do want to get there a little bit early just to make sure that you're in line and on time for your testing. But the reason that they do that is to have, like I said, a very streamlined operation.
Right.
Make sure that everybody's getting there on time, and that this testing flows rather quickly, because obviously there's a lot of people out there that do want to get tested. So
how long do you have to wait for your results?
Results typically take anywhere from 3 to 5 days, depending. It might take a little bit longer if they're a little bit backed up. However, again, if you're not showing signs and symptoms, if you're just doing this as a precautionary measure, there's really absolutely no need, for those results to come in rather quickly. Now, of course, if you are feeling the symptoms of COVID and they've identified that, obviously they're going to go ahead and try to expedite. Correct. Prioritize and expedite your results as quickly as possible. So.
Do you have any idea how many tests that they can get done from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.?
That information I don't have. I spoke to them yesterday, and they said that that's really all dependent on people arriving on time for their set scheduling.
Correct.
And of course, depending on how many people that they have contact them within that 24 hours prior to and set up their appointments. So, but he did say that they are, like I said, it's a very streamlined operation. This is something, drive-through testing, that they've been doing all over the state of Texas, and so they've gotten relatively good at it.
And your process took about 5 minutes, so that'll give folks an idea how long to expect. Of course, you'll have to, wait your turn, but when you get there, it goes very quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
So if anybody has questions on that, they can call that number that they can call for testing, or?
Yeah, if they have any questions as to local, as far as local goes, if you have any questions, you can definitely give me a call. My number is going to be 956-466-7668, and I can answer pretty basic questions about our testing site, time frames, or even if you need help getting you walk through this again. Now, to actually set up for the test itself, you are going to want to call that 512 number. That's going to be that 512-883-2400.
Okay.
So.
Do you recommend that people show up with some kind of face covering?
Absolutely. As you can see, I'm still wearing mine. Obviously, highly recommended that you wear it. All the individuals there are going to be in full PPE, which is, their personal protective equipment, which is going to be much more than just any mask. However, for your protection, and of course, obviously, if you're traveling with people inside the vehicle, you want to be, consider wearing your mask at all times.
And just to clarify a little bit, people may not have an understanding of exactly why a mask is required or expected or recommended in some places. Does the mask protect the mask wearer or the people around them?
So here's the thing with a mask is that really it's for the protection of the people around you. If for some reason you're sick, obviously this is going to help contain it, help contain the spread. That's the reason we wear the mask. It's not necessarily a huge protection for myself as much as it is for everybody else around me. And so, when you see me out in public, especially in areas like H-E-B, any kind of the retail stores, Walmart, you'll see me out and I'm going to have my mask on. And again, that's for everybody else's protection. Granted, I've been tested. This is something that's going to be ongoing. I know that a lot of our employees and our frontline workers as our first responders are going to be tested on a regular basis from here on out. However, we do want to continue protecting and flattening that curve,
right.
Make sure that everybody's protected throughout this entire pandemic and situation. So,
before we sign off, John, are there any other questions that you think the public may have that we haven't covered?
When it comes to this, I don't think so. Again, if there's any questions that might come to mind, please feel free to give me a call. I'm available pretty much all the time. So definitely feel free to give me a call if you have any questions about the pandemic or, coronavirus, the testing that's going to be ongoing throughout the valley. We did try to get all this information out to everybody via our social media outlets as well as door to door. We were handing out flyers. I know a lot of our code enforcement and public works was out there this past week handing out flyers, trying to talk to individuals and let them know that this testing is available. And so we hope to get a great turnout out there. So
once again, when the testing isn't available in Port Isabel anymore, do they have to go back and re-register?
Absolutely. So if for some reason that you couldn't get registered and you couldn't get a time slot within the city of Port Isabel, it's going to be the same registration process everywhere as far as the county goes in this particular testing, these drive-through testings that are being set up. So if you need a flyer, obviously they'll be put out on the social media. You can see it on Facebook. But it'll have other testing sites within Cameron County, and the registration process is absolutely the same. So please feel free to register. If for some reason you can't get out tomorrow to get tested, please do so. If that's something that you're interested in, like I said, not a huge deal. Again, more like a flu test than anything. Again, this is going to help make us a little bit aware and get the true numbers down here in the valley, and especially in Cameron County as to how many people are affected and may be carrying this virus.
Excellent. Thank you so much, John, for all the information. And we'll leave some phone numbers down in the comments below to make it convenient for y'all to find it. And everybody stay safe out there and have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.